Hello and welcome to Sláinte Scotland whiskey tasting episode 9, I believe. And I am hiding from the rain at Laphroaig Distillery. We're on our first island tour of the year. 2 guys with us, and I'm lucky enough that we're training up one of our guides for the island tour, so I ain't doing no driving, which gives me more time for tasting and buying and doing all the kind of more fun stuff. So what I wanted to do actually was tell you about 2 things and a quick review of 2 things as well. The first one that I just tried in there, which is a fairly new release, apparently December-ish, is the Forward from Laphroaig. It is Virgin Oak, American Oak, ex-bourbon and sherry finish. It was fine. It was very nice, but there was nothing amazing about it, in my opinion. It was, in my mind, a little bit too complex, so it was nothing really to kind of latch onto. It was a bit all over the show. I think it was around £45. But the one I really want to talk about is this one, which is the Cairdeas reissue 15. Says on the tin, the Cairdeas 15-year-old was a beloved expression amongst our most loyal fans. When it was gone, those same fans clamored for its return, and we heard you. The special annual limited release 15-year-old Laphroaig Cairdeas is available exclusively to friends of Laphroaig. Now, obviously, if you're friends of Laphroaig, you can buy it online, but if you come to the distillery, you can also get it. The 2017 bottling you have in your hand features Laphroaig liquid distilled in 2002, then poured into first full ex-bourbon barrels to age. As you begin to enjoy this expression, you'll find an aroma of toffee, crab apple, and herbal peat moss, bracken and gorse lead to birch, tar, and gunpowder through moisture-laden air. There you go. On the palate, you'll experience signature old-style Laphroaig with its mellow peatiness, Islay cream and tobacco that give way to cool smoke from a forest fire extinguished by the sea. The finish is reminiscent of lingering ripe smoky fruit and earthy peat moss. This last bit I will completely agree with. That is a very good description of the taste. It's a very typical Laphroaig, and it has that strength in taste to it. It's not very high alcohol content. It's 43%, so 86 proof. Comes in 700ml bottles here, and it's got the green box, not the kind of peaty browny reddish color. It's a bit more classic Laphroaig. But that's really what this tastes like. It tastes like if you imagine a classic 10 or quarter cask, but with a hint of single caskness to it. It's a bit more strong, it's a little bit more fruity, with that distinctive Laphroaig smoothness and peatiness to it. So managed to have a dram of this and immediately bought it. I think this is here at the distillery. I think I just paid 81, which is, I think, a fairly good price for a limited run 15-year-old in any shape or form. So obviously I've not checked the website to see if I can get it under my friends of Laphroaig, because you know what, I was here, so I could just about buy it. Show you why I'm sitting in the car though. So our guests are currently, I just saw them walk by with Ross, and they went into the warehouse there where they'll do their own bottling. They're on the Distillers Wear tour, where they get a really in-depth tour of the distillery, the whiskey making process, the malting floors, and then they'll go into the warehouse, where usually they have a choice of 2 or 3 barrels. One will be bourbon, one will be sherry, one will be marriage. I don't know what's in there at the moment because I've not been in there. Then they get a taste of them, and then they can decide which one they want to bottle. They get a 200ml bottle. They can then fill it themselves with the Valanche, and it all gets signed up, manually labeled. It's an absolutely amazing tour, and no matter if Laphroaig is your favorite whiskey or not, the majority of our guests that have come onto the Islay Whiskey Tour love this tour the most, regardless if it's their favorite whiskey or not. It is such a welcoming, friendly, beautiful distillery to visit. An absolute must. So I'll give you a quick show of our lovely weather today. The rain is kind of stopped. There is the bay, visitor center, and the warehouse. I might go into the warehouse in a minute to go and see my guys, but until then, I will see you and love you and leave you. Slán